Welcome back to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, the weekly radio show that informs and it educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Barb Schlinker, the owner broker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Now, Barb, with the real estate market cooling off, many home sellers don't want to wait months to sell their home or worry about their contracts failing for various reasons. So, what are some of the benefits of accepting a cash offer on their home?
Well, a lot of people assume that cash offers are super low ball. They're going to steal my equity. They're not going to do what they say they're going to do. But I've closed about 8 of them in the last couple of months, and they're great. They do exactly what they say they're going to do. They close on time. There's no mystery. Everything has been fine. So, and the offers are pretty good. They're pretty close to full market value, and the sellers don't have to worry about fixing their home, getting their home ready for sale, dealing with strangers coming through their house, having their house ready every single day to be prepared for showings, or, vacating their home at the last minute at dinner time for a showing. It's insane. And it's not a fun experience, the traditional sales process like it used to be, especially because right now it takes a lot longer to sell a home. And some sellers, if they don't price it right, if all the stars don't align, they could see their home sitting on the market month after month after month with no sale. It's nothing more frustrating than that. And right now, over 60% of home sellers are having to lower their price because we had this huge surge of available homes hit the market this summer, over 35%. So 1/3 more inventory than we had before, yet the rates are still high. And the buyers, they're just not coming out of the woodwork because the homes are not affordable yet. They can't afford the payments. So they're like, I got more choices now, but maybe I'm not going to make an offer. So we're seeing higher inventory for the same number of sales. So some sellers want a sure bet, they got to make plans. They can't stand the uncertainty of a home not selling. They don't like to reduce their prices. They don't like months and months of showings. And then when they do get contracts, then they have the uncertainty of having to do expensive repairs on the house. I got one right now where, it's an older manufactured home, and the county requires that the septic be inspected and pumped prior to changing ownership. And sure enough, the leach field didn't pass. So it's going to be anywhere from a $15,000 to a $30,000 repair that the seller is going to have to get paid out of closing to get to the finish line. It delayed the closing a month because now we have to do a soils test, then we have to have an engineer decide on what kind of system is going to be appropriate for the soils test before we can even fund the repair. That doesn't mean the repair gets done. No, then they have to pull a permit. That takes a month with the county. So it could go on months and months. At least if we have a price, we can pay it out of closing and get the sellers moved to their next home. But those kind of experiences make it really frustrating for home sellers. They just want to sell their home and move on to their next stage in life. And then nothing worse than having a buyer walk away because they can't afford it. And sometimes they will not tell you the truth. I just had a home seller I closed yesterday in which they had a contract fail, and they were told inspection, but then somehow inadvertently something ended up going in the mail to the house that indicated that the buyer actually got turned down because they couldn't qualify for the mortgage. Or maybe there's insurance issues. I had another contract fail because the homeowner's insurance was too expensive and the buyer couldn't afford it. So you never know what's going to happen. I had an appraisal come in low. So an appraisal is an opinion of value done by a third party to substantiate the buyer is paying what the agreed upon contract price. Now, if you look at this home buyer that I represented purchased the home at the peak of the market in 2022. They competed against probably 10 or other buyers for this house. It was a pretty remodeled home, and they paid like $562, right? And so we put the house on the market trying to get that much money. It just wasn't working. We finally get a contract at about 540, and the appraiser comes back and says, nope, it's worth 536, right? So they not only gave up ground from what they paid for the home, but then the appraiser came back and said, oh, it's not worth that much. And so everybody's having to make concessions to get it to the finish line. Nobody likes those experiences, and it makes the experience a lot more frustrating. A lot of sellers also worry about if their buyer is going to get what they call a government loan, like a VA loan or an FHA loan. Will their house qualify for those loans? So in general, most houses do qualify. The things that an appraiser is the one that makes this decision, will ask to be repaired are things like peeling paint on the outside of the home, broken windows, missing outlet covers, any dangerous trip hazards. I've had them ask for window well coverings if kids can, walk by, or animals can walk by and fall in these deep window wells. I've even had them ask for fences to be repaired. But what the contract doesn't say is who is going to fix it. It just says it has to be fixed for the buyer to get their loan. So it is a point in negotiation, but a lot of times the assumption is it's actually the seller that fixes it. So, when you're a week or two from closing, this is not the time to find these things out. You've already made your moving plan. You're ready to go. You're packing your boxes up. The house no longer looks show ready. And to have to worry about these deals being in doubt all the way to a week before closing is it's really a frustrating experience for home sellers. And that's why more and more and more home sellers are opting to purchase the home or sell their home to a cash buyer. That way, you don't have to worry about financing. You don't have to worry about repairs. You don't have to worry about inspections. You don't have to worry about the buyer changing their mind or a sale contingency or anything like that. At the end of the day, they get cash money on the date that they say, which is really, really nice. And then there are some sellers that really haven't lined up their destination yet. I've seen people take that chance, which is a little stressful, but they'll do it. I just sold one where they did it. And basically she goes, well, I like working under pressure. So once I get a contract, I'll go under contract for my next house. And sure enough, here comes the inspector. The inspector gets on the floor and jiggles the toilet and says the toilet's loose. I mean, just crazy stuff that puts the whole deal in doubt and makes her very uncomfortable through the process. And I don't know. I don't know why agents do that. I don't know why inspectors do it. But if you do have to sell a home and you're buying your next home after that, right? If you have a deal that's in doubt, like you're not through inspection, you're not through appraisal, or your buyer has to sell a house, all those things put it in doubt, make it risky, put a lot of pressure on the seller. But we have options. We have a whole bunch of investors that will make an offer on their home right out of the gate. And they have the option to take that offer now. Some of those offers they can take after they've tested the market if they want to. So there's all kinds of options that the home sellers can do in order to sell their home to a cash buyer. I have different names for them. I have one of them called the easy button, where basically you probably give up, I would say about 5 to 7% of your equity with the easy button seller, but you're done. You could sell it in as quickly as 2 weeks, right? As is, no repairs. Pick your closing date. You can even stay in the home for a couple of days after you get paid. There's another one that will actually do repairs for you and let you take advantage of the equity when you sell it. Those are really cool. So that cash investor basically comes in right at market value. They charge a fee for their service. They take the repairs off. So you get paid a good percentage of your equity up front. Then they repair it, they resell it, and you get to take advantage of the upside when it sells for a premium. So all those things are options that we can present to sellers that most people just don't have. So my name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. and the host of the show, Your Real Estate Voice. And we're talking about the benefits of accepting a cash offer on selling your home. And when we come back, we're gonna talk about some of these other options that we can do for you. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, and you can reach her at 719-301-3900. We're talking with Barb about how sellers can trade up to a new home. If a seller does take a cash offer, is there any risk of it falling through or giving up some of the equity, Barb?
No, well, there is some equity that they're going to give up as compared to the open market. Maybe. You don't know. The wild card is with 35% more available homes on the market, how long does your home have to sit on the market? How much do you have to lower your price in order to get a full market value sale? We don't know if it's better or not better. So I think at the end of the day, maybe they're giving up equity and maybe they're not, but is it going to fall through? No, I've not had any problems with these cash investors doing what they say they're going to do. They close on time as agreed. These are big corporate buyers, right? And some of them have closed in as little as 2 weeks. It's amazing how fast it's happening. Plus, if you want to go on the open market, we'll guarantee, hey, 100% of market value, or we'll pay you the difference. So we can pivot to these cash buyers if you want. That way you get the best of both worlds. So give us a call, 719-301-3900. We show up at every listing with a handful of cash offers, just in case you want to go down that road. And you can call us or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
Barb, you and your team are the only ones that I would recommend to people out there who are thinking about selling their homes and downsizing perhaps to a smaller home. To reach Barb and her team, call 719-301-3900. Barb, time for your hot new listings. What do you have this time?
Well, I have a beautiful home on 35 acres on Powers Road in the mid threes, a gorgeous home at 444,999 on Crandall Road. New on the market today, a fantastic rancher with a 3-car tandem garage, backs to open space in Peyton on Stonemont at 619,999 with a full finished basement. Great home. We just put a Cowie under contract, so that one's already gone. We have a really cool property on 5 acres on Alta Plaza, a beautiful home on 5 treed acres on Chalet Lane on the edge of Black Forest, priced at $850 with an RV garage. We have a fantastic home on McPherson Road priced at $1.25 million and a few lots that might interest you. So give us a call at 719-301-3900, and we always have some coming soon homes that are not on the market that may interest our buyers. Richard?
You've been listening to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And if you're thinking of making a move, call Barb at 719-301-3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. That'll do it for this week. Barb, great talking with you. We'll talk next week.
Thank you. Have a great week.